Like, so you're dreading it.
Yeah.
Tell me what you...
Well, I'd rather be home with my girlfriend than, watching
I have a wife
people
and 4
work
kids.
out their stuff.
Yeah, we're trying to do something that's never been done before.
Mm-hmm.
A video show about true, real open mic. This is like a full-on
I'm here.
reality.
I'm doing it. I'm doing
I know
it.
what. Here's my thing, because I've heard this before.
Yeah.
I think you don't because by the way, we're gonna. You know what? Let's start the show. I'll get into it.
Okay.
Welcome to the What's Good Tampa Show.
Oh, I think we need to restart the show. My God. Oh, my God. Did you hear that?
Terrible.
That was... I don't think I can hear anymore. Hello? Hello?
Oh shit.
Okay. Well, let's try that again. Ready to start the show?
Yeah.
Welcome to the What's Good Tampa Show. What's Good Tampa Show. This is where we talk about all things Tampa Bay and beyond. Coming to you from the Gimmick in Ybor City, here's your hosts, Austin and Sean.
All right. Now,
Yes.
that was better.
Going on week 2.
Sorry about that, everyone.
Live from the Gimmick.
Yeah.
This is what I wanted to ask
Okay, so
you.
what did you want to ask me?
I don't. You're a comedy fan. You like comedy shows. You like acts that are already done or the roasts that are kind of riffing. But I don't know if you are one of these diehard comedy fans where you don't care how they get that 10 or 15
Not at
minutes
all.
on stage.
Not at all.
You just want to be, you just want to see the end product.
Yeah, I want to see funny jokes.
So Kill Tony's the largest, comedy show, live comedy show on earth, and one of now the largest shows ever.
Oh, wow. Is
especially
that
for
true, though? I
comedy.
mean,
100%.
I think
There'll be
I
50,
think
60
you feel this way, and
Well, no,
you feel like comedy's like blowing up bigger than ever and blah blah blah.
Bigger than
because
that.
you
Bigger
are
than what-
in this little bubble. And
No.
that's the only reason why.
Dude, you know how many people moved out of Tampa, Orlando to go to Austin specifically because Joe Rogan opened a comedy club?
2,
No. 30. 40.
30 from here.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes. Some good, some not.
Okay.
But they want to go make it.
Okay,
So they got another job
Yep.
over there because they just want to be in the scene, man.
So Austin, Texas is where to be.
The
You wanna
number
make
one
it-
comedy scene. Now, as far as that's the perceived comedy scene.
Yeah.
I believe Tampa's very good as well, but you have your captain of the team over there.
Yep. So maybe we get these guys a one-way ticket to Austin, Texas, and keep them over there.
Like the guy from Handball?
Yeah, exactly. I think that
You're the worst comic. We'll send you one way to Austin.
Yeah, whoever wins the open mic night tonight will send a one-way ticket to Austin. To have
What?
them
They'll
come.
take that.
I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will.
$86 Spirit Airline. We should do that.
Yeah, that should be our gift to them.
But they would just say, well, no.
But what if they found their way back?
They will.
Yeah, actually, we'll reverse it. We'll put the worst comic. We'll send them one-way
That's what I'm
ticket
saying.
out. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So here's what I want to say, though.
Perfect.
I don't believe... So in open mic, you're never going to find out the worst because everybody is kind of working on new... So
What do you mean, because everybody's bad? Is that what you're saying?
No, but they're trying new things. This
Sounds
might be
like
the
what you're
first or
saying.
second or third. But here's what I wanted to tell you. So
Can't wait.
Austin, Texas, yes. Tampa, I believe there's a great comedy scene. But here's what I'm learning about what we're trying to do.
Okay.
Kill Tony is the largest by far. If you log on tonight, which you won't, but if you go on YouTube, there's 60, 70, 100,000 people watching live. They sold out 15,000 seat Madison Square Garden, in 2 days, in like hours.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is these comedy fans that like stand-up comedy, they're now getting into the characters of the people, and they love the show so much that they're a fan of, like, quote unquote, the process. And I think you got to give credit to Tony Hinchcliffe for making this a show. But Kill Tony is more where it's an open mic, I guess. You're doing 1 minute of comedy, but it's really to get to the interview portion where he can rip them and roast them. And,
Right.
and they have cool, regulars that are on there. Cam Patterson, shout out Cam, being one of those that was here at the Gimmick for a long time, and William Montgomery, whether it's Hans Kim, David Lucas. These guys are working on their new material. So, like, you may watch their minute and be like, that wasn't very funny. But if you went to see them on the road, they're not doing any of those bits in their act. They're working those bits at every open mic in town.
Yep.
Happen to be starting them at Kill Tony, or they have to write a new minute every week. So I guess what the stuff you hear right now, you might hear on a Dirty Show on a Friday night 3 months from now.
I see.
From these comics. I'm liking this because this is the good thing, too, for comics. Everybody moving to Austin only makes comics get to be on shows here that they would not have been on.
Okay. But outside of those, so you watched the first episode of the open mic night, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And out of those But out of those like 12 comics
Yes.
that were on it, I mean,
more. 5 of them are regularly on show. I won't say regular, monthly on shows here, whether it's the roast or the competition.
But you felt that 15-minute show was entertaining. You enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, but see, here's the thing. I know what you were feeling back there in an open mic. Some people that run open mics get to that point where they're like, "What the fuck? Get me out of here!"
Yeah,
because it is a thing. But dude, I opened this thing, and I'm not even a comic. I love the grind, dude. I that's why I wanted to capture this idea of getting off stage. These are people that are funny and on shows, and then they come off and just absolutely bombed in front of. I mean, what do we have? 25 audience members on an open mic, and tonight it's already looking like it's going to be more, and they bombed.
Yeah,
their ass off, and I want to know what that's like. And like we had one that we'll see, and this person comes off and says, "I don't know what's going on," because I thought that was hilarious, and not one person laughed.
Yeah, not one person laughed. No, everybody was just
So
staring.
then it's to me like, okay, is he going to try that bit again tonight that didn't work? Is he going to fix it or try to like maneuver it from a different position? Maybe use the same premise, get a different punchline, add a tag to it. And so I think that's where these people that are watching Kill Tony and are all into Kill Tony, they were kind of like you, is like, I don't care, I just want to see. Because there was never a show like this, but they had never been to it. You have never been to an open mic until this.
The funniest part of Kill Tony is the interviews where they have the other comedians up there making fun, like the Donald Trump impersonator and all that stuff.
The guests, making little
or Ric Flair drunk.
But remember, here what we want to do is build these characters. It is basically reality TV, but it's not scripted. So the cool thing is we're going to learn what like tonight. The question I'm going to ask everybody, instead of what you like most about the gimmick, we're going to dive back in. I want to know what these people do, and they come here after work, a hard day's work, okay? And they come here after for 2.5 hours to get up for 4 or 5 minutes.
Right.
I want to know what they do. I want to know, in this group of, we're going to have 30 comics tonight, I want to know what drives them. Listen to this. They enjoy that 4 or 5 minutes here and the 2 hours hanging out here more than the 8 hours they just put in at work.
Yeah, sure, because this is their passion. This is what they want to do.
You sometimes, I don't know what your passion is, but you maybe do food reviews but whatever. And you go to work and then you go do the thing you like way more than work. I'm telling you that this is for me, I'm so lucky, is like, this could be a hobbyist or like what I like to do, but it is my work, sort of. I mean, listen, let's be honest, open mics isn't about the money. But imagine developing these comics. Like, there was a big thing, I don't want to get into it, but I'm taking a lot on now myself. I'm going to run this thing from start to finish again.
Why are you having to do that now?
I don't want to get into that.
Why?
It was a very learning weekend for me.
And
I just many ways, but I'm not going to call anybody out or make anybody
I just want to know what happened.
Nothing. Here's what I learned this weekend. I learned that if the gimmick's going to be the best possible version of the gimmick, it starts, stops, and develops through me alone.
And I've learned something this week, too. Yeah, I learned something this week, too.
You hate open mic comedy.
No, well, I've known that. But I was going to say, I've also learned that this podcast is never going to be as great as it could be unless you start opening up your life like I open up mine and tell us what these things are that are going on in your life that you're afraid to mention.
I'm not afraid to mention
for example.
No, I'm not afraid to mention
this being the first
I just
example.
told you.
I come in here all the time and just tell you everything. Last week you wanted to talk about my girlfriend.
Well, I didn't want to talk. You said,
you did.
You brought it up. Yeah, but if we're being clear, I was dabbling, and you're like, no, just go deep into it. I'm down.
Because I want to make this show the best it can be, and I open up so that it can be.
I'll say again. I'll say again. There's no specific things that I can point to, but what I'll say is I'll open up. Yep. I'm saying that the best version of the gimmick, and whether it goes from running the mics, running the shows, booking the shows, I have to be involved in every single facet at all times to give the best version of what I see as the gimmick, and I'm willing to do that. What I'm saying though is there's no one that I dislike, or there's nothing that is like, screw these people, listen, these comics we have the funniest comics on our shows. That's a fact. The funniest. And if this is my passion project, which it is, it's up to me to do everything from start to finish.
Okay, so that was just a conscious decision you made. Nothing happened to make you decide to make that decision.
Well, things have happened over time where I just realized that no one has the passion for the gimmick like me.
Of course not. Yeah, it's your place.
And but instead of me, because you play the game, you don't want to, you you play the game where you try to, what do you call, delegate certain things and stuff like that. And I've done great. I mean, Dan the Man has been awesome with me for a long, long time, and it's really just been the two of us. Takeout helped a ton, helping the doors. Like, so there was only two guys but I guess what I'm saying though is now we're in a position where like I really do want, I talked to you about November. I want a bigger club. I want to get to 125 seater and never close this down. This is always going to be the small little thing. I have goals here, and I found that because art was blowing up so much for me that that took a lot of my time up. And I don't want to say that I neglected the gimmick, but I think things have changed, and maybe giving too much responsibility to people that didn't love it like me.
Okay.
So nothing against them, because I wouldn't listen. If I didn't own this, I wouldn't be as passionate about it either. So like, I guess what I'm saying though is if I can be a better head coach, my players will give me more out of what they're doing.
Oh,
so it's really honestly what it did. It opened a shitload of new opportunity to new people to get on those stages during our shows.
Nice.
And that's one thing I am going to do. So watching this show to me, and I appreciate your help on this passion project of ours. And the only way you're going to love it is when these numbers start to bubble up. So guys, please. When the first episode drops tonight,
it's already dropped.
It's already dropped. But like, watch as many times as you can, because that'll keep Austin as passionate as possible.
Fudge the numbers so that Sean can
not
make
fudge,
me feel better.
not fudge. Watch them and share them with as many people as you can, because I personally love it. And if somebody doesn't love it, they can turn it off. But it's a 14 to 16 minute show. It's awesome. It shows the actual reality of open mic at one of the best, coolest clubs in Tampa, and the best open mic by far ever. Now, Creative Loathing, you're going to give to somebody that nobody goes to a show, and no shots fired at them. I'm not saying I hate them. You're saying that.
Yeah, I'm saying that.
But there's no question, voting or not, the Monday Night Mic here is the best open mic by far in Tampa. And I'm not trying to be cocky. It's just obvious when we pack out every Monday. So, but I just love it because there's going to be so many things that come from this, new opportunities for comics. They're going to get funnier quicker because they're going to have more opportunities to get on stage. So I'm really excited to show the behind the scenes and the actual, sets and cuts. And by the way, we're not doing full sets. We're getting a couple jokes in there so that people get the idea of what's going on. I love it. It's only going to grow and get better. So please also, if you're watching the first episode, please DM us or leave comments, good, bad, or otherwise, what you would like more to see in each episode, because we're a learning process, but I think this is very vital to the Tampa comedy scene and very vital to the awesome open micers that are going to be performers on real shows very shortly when they keep working at it. So that's what I have to say about it.
All right, What's Good Tampa Show, open mic, episode 1 on YouTube now.
It's out now. Please
check it out.
Please go ahead. We're going to take a quick break. When we get back to, I wanted to ask you, we'll kind of shift from comedy, but I wanted to ask you something very interesting that's going on in Tampa. And as a Tampa expert, born and raised here, I want to get your take, on what you think. And it's kind of controversial, but I just want to see what you think about it.
All right, let's do it.
All right. And we're back.
We're back.
All right. So enough about the, my passion.
Yeah. We've heard about that the last 3 episodes.
So I want to, there's something that I heard from a pretty reliable source that they're going to possibly start doing in Tampa or in some of the cities. And you're somebody that travels around.
Sure.
And you fancy yourself a nice hotel.
Yep.
And I'm, what I'm hearing is, so if there's nights that have open hotel rooms in town and their homelessness has kept going higher and higher, they're going to fill some of those rooms even at, I don't want to mention names of hotels, but like the nicest, pristine hotels ever that can't sell out. And I don't know if it's a stipend that's going to come from the city itself. I know it's happening in other cities all around. Are you into helping the homeless in that way, to giving them a shower, giving them a bed, making them feel more comfortable, and that maybe that can get them jump-started back in life? Or do you think they belong on the streets?
In a fancy hotel.
Yeah, any hotel
nice
that's available.
hotel?
Yes, very nice. You paid $300 a night for it, but at 10:30, 11 o'clock, if the room didn't sell and you have a plethora of 30 rooms available, you start opening up to the homeless.
Are you sure this is?
I'm not. Like I said, this is already happening in other places. So the state I came from, Vermont, during COVID, they just took full hotels and motels and made it living for the homeless.
It'd be one thing if it was a shitty motel.
No, nice ones.
See, that makes no sense.
We had an inn, a very high-end restaurant inn. I'll give you a story in Vermont. A very high-end restaurant inn. And they turned it 3-4 years ago because it's a good idea that Vermont's going to lead the charge. That state that sued me. And they just put so it started with a couple rooms here and there, and of course, if you have drug addicted homeless people with maybe no help, and they're not, because there's no way to force them to go get rehabilitation, but they can't be on the streets. Now this place, still to this day, straight up the place you go to buy drugs, heroin, crack, and it completely destroyed to help out the homeless, and now it's like one of the most dangerous and crazy places anywhere.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, see, I don't like this idea at all.
So
No.
do you leave them on the street?
Look,
or lock them up?
Where I find the problem, I have nothing against the homeless.
Okay.
But what I would say is, if I were one of those guests paying to be in an expensive hotel and there's just a bunch of homeless people walking around,
Well, maybe it's only on the second floor, so you don't see them.
I don't know whether I don't want to see them at all if I'm paying extra money to stay at a nice hotel.
So if you do see them, you want a refund.
It just
because you had to look at them. You went down to the show downtown, you saw 10 of them.
It just seems weird that you would put them in a nice hotel. And why am I having to pay for it? I'll just say I'm homeless and put me in there.
No. You're not homeless.
I'll just say I'm homeless.
No, you're not homeless, and you already booked. This is at like 10:30, 11 o'clock till 4 in the morning, let's say. And the whole second floor, if they can't sell it out, so you might not even see a homeless.
But if it's on the 12th floor, it's off limits.
But listen.
Is that what you're saying?
No, but I'm saying going down the street to dinner, you might run into 5 of them.
Yeah, and that's fine. I'm in their territory. I'm on the street.
So they can be on the street.
I'm paying
but they can't have a nice, clean shower.
Well, I'm not saying
Where's
they
your
can't
heart?
have a nice,
That's what I
clean
wanna say.
shower. I'm just saying, does it make sense what I'm saying, that if I'm paying all this money to stay at a 5-star hotel,
Well, you made that choice.
I don't feel like I should have to
Look at them. Because you're going to walk out the door to your valet, and you're going to look. You might have to look at one of them.
Well, when you say look at them, it sounds really bad.
Yeah, but isn't that crazy?
It is crazy. I think that.
But isn't
that
it
can't be real.
compassionate? Isn't it? It's happened in many states.
It's but why can't we use cheaper hotels? Why do they got to stay at the 5-star hotel that I'm paying $500 a night
all
for?
Right, let me tell you then.
And they're staying for free.
So if I was a cheaper hotel, I would jack my stuff up to $500 so they can't stay there.
Well, apparently
Right?
they can stay there because they can stay wherever they want.
No, I'm not saying it wherever they want. I think it's where availability is available. But I guess what I was saying is,
so the Edition Hotel downtown
you find
is
it-
taking in homeless people.
well,
Is that what you're telling me?
Didn't we have a review there? It was like 10,000 a night, and it wasn't very good.
And now just the homeless get to stay there for free. That's what
But
you're
it's
telling
not all the time. Let me ask you a question too, is because I feel compassion, and I have a plethora of socks.
Yeah, what do you
that
do
I
for the
purchase.
homeless?
I like to give them new socks every month. I like to do a walk around and give about 25 to 30 pairs of new socks. You've seen the socks in here, and that I purchased myself a long time ago, and
What a charitable act.
1,000 a pair. But socks are one of those things that are very hard to come by, and for a homeless person, keeping their feet dry and into new socks is probably a blessing. Now, I was walking this weekend and giving our cards out to promote the show and the comedy. And I did see a homeless person at one of the outside tables at a very nice restaurant with his pants all the way down to his knees,
Oh, wow.
butt
Very
naked,
nice.
and it looked like he is pissed and shit himself.
Yeah.
But here's my question is, why is it different if you're having a $500 dinner and you have to look at that? Like, oh, I'm paying $500 for this dinner. I don't want to look at him.
It's not about looking at them.
Do you think if he had a good night's sleep the night before in a shower
It's not
and some
about-
clean clothes, would he have been in that situation?
It's not about having to look at them. It's just about the principle of why should I have to pay and they don't.
Ooh, so it's a class thing for you.
It's a class thing. We should all be treated equal.
Oh,
right?
we should?
Don't you think?
Yeah, so equal, meaning
Equal.
like whether you pay $500 for the night or it's free, everyone should stay there. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So you're for them going in there because everyone's equal. Whether you can afford it or not, you should be able to stay in there.
I don't think everyone should be able to stay in there. No.
So
I
not
think,
equal. You're actually against equal. You want class lines. If you're poor, you stay on the streets, and I don't want to look at you because I'm paying $500 for
It
the
has
show.
nothing to do with looking at them. It just seems that
Smelling them.
yeah, I don't know.
You don't have the answer,
fine.
right?
Let him in. Yeah, I don't have the answer. Let him in.
Let him in,
Let
but
him
you're
in.
not going to stay there.
Let him in. Let him in. I'm not going to stay there.
Wow. And you're not going to stay there because you don't want to look at them.
No, it has nothing to do with them. I'm just going to go somewhere where
there's no homeless.
and whoever I'm with can just have a nice romantic time.
But you can
and
there
not-
too. They're just on the second floor.
Okay.
They just want to shower. Then they don't have to soil themselves on the street.
Well, can't we do that at like the Motel 6 or something? Why do we have to do that at the nice fancy?
Well, now why are you discriminating against the Motel 6? Back in the day, that was a very,
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just digging myself deeper every time.
well, let's hear another quick sponsor from one of our favorite hotels in town.
Would you stay at the hotel?
To be honest
with
with
you and your 4 kids and your wife?
No, but
why not?
Not because there's homeless. I'm saying
why not?
I don't think staying at a downtown nice hotel where there's homeless is something I would do anyway.
Well, let's just say it's in
I
the
wouldn't.
suburbs.
homeless, you typically don't get to the suburbs.
Well, I'm just saying. So
People
if there
make-
was homeless people in there at all, you're not going to stay there.
I wouldn't say that.
Well, that's what you just said.
No, I wouldn't.
You
No,
said you
I
wouldn't
just
stay
said.
there.
I said where
you wouldn't
homeless
stay
are. I would not ever have the wife and kid. We
Well,
wouldn't
there's
go to a
homeless
hotel
people
whether they're
everywhere.
homeless or not.
There's homeless people everywhere.
And that's not true.
Yeah, there is.
That's
true.
not true.
That is true.
I mean, there's homeless people
Where do you
everywhere.
live?
But what
Wesley
I'm saying
Chapel.
is-
Where do you live?
I live up north, but like it's in a suburban neighborhood. But like
You
I
won't
guess what I'm
even
saying
say
is,
what
I guess
city you
no, but
live
I
in.
guess what I'm saying is though is
Ugh.
I wouldn't go like you're a downtown kind of guy that wants to live stay in a nice hotel if you go to a place, and there's also homelessness around downtown areas.
Have you ever
inner
stayed in a
cities.
hotel with your family?
Yeah.
Where? Whereabouts?
Small towns.
Small
Either
towns.
on the road if
but
you're
there's
traveling.
No, but there's no homeless in small
No,
towns.
I don't think so.
So you won't stay
or they're
in-
doing this, and I don't see them. So
you won't even stay in a town where there's homeless people.
No. What I'm saying is,
That's what you're saying.
they might have done what I'm exactly talking about,
Uh-huh.
and it's never. I stay in a hotel. It's not like they have this thing in the front saying, "Hey, Austin, we're charging you $500, but there's homeless on the second floor."
Okay.
They don't have to disclose that.
Yeah, but you won't even stay in a town.
I got
where
a
there's
question for
homeless
you. I got a question. What about IVs? Do you like IVs?
people. I've never
Yeah,
had an IV.
Would you though if you were like hungover or like
would
not
try
feeling
it.
yourself?
I'd try it.
Yeah, the homeless could use some IVs. I think sometimes
Yeah,
that would be
I'm
a
sure.
cool thing for one of. If you guys own a IV company and you want to help homeless like, get back on their feet for a day,
Yeah.
we should try that. But I'm just kicking stuff around. I just wanted to.
Well, maybe
if
we
that
can get
comes,
Stephanie from Hiding Aesthetics to come here and give them some Botox.
I mean, yeah, but listen, that's a perfect example. Now you're making kind of my point is like an IV is something that might help their health and benefit them immediately. Botox seems more like a want, and it's very, it's a want that a lot of people do. But I believe that's a disposable income purchase, more of a want than a need. I feel like an IV vitamin drip might be a need for somebody, that's really. Hurting.
Yeah, I agree.
Listen,
I
I'm
agree.
just trying to make the city we live in a better place, and I wanted to pick your brain on what you thought. But obviously, it's pretty obvious where you stand. You wouldn't dare want to look at one if you spent over $300
And you
on
won't
a
even
room.
stay in a town where there's homeless.
That's not
people,
true.
so-
I don't know. Wherever I need to stay in a hotel, I'm not going to ask them if there's homeless.
Well, earlier you said I wouldn't even stay in a place where there'd be homeless people.
Yeah, I would.
That's
I
what
wouldn't.
you
I
said.
wouldn't go. But would anybody go out of their way to stay where there's definitely homeless?
Well,
But
they're
in the
everywhere.
cities. In the cities, they're everywhere.
But if you knew they were there,
Hey,
you
listen.
wouldn't
I'm
stay.
just here, food for thought,
Yeah.
and trying to help the community.
All right. Let's take a break.
Yeah.
All right, we're back.
We're back.
We're back. Interesting story that happened to me. Actually, it's not interesting at all, but
When did this happen?
this happened on the way over here.
Oh.
Yeah, because I parked over like across the street because somebody's in my parking spot right here.
Oh.
So, but as I was walking back over, I basically got yelled at by a cop because I jaywalked across the street, which is like such a stupid thing. It's not like there's any cars coming, anything.
So now you don't like police either. Homeless
Well,
and police.
no, I love the homeless and I love the police. But anyway, I just seemed like a stupid thing to give me shit about because I was jaywalking. And
Tell me they tased you.
No, they didn't tase you. I felt like talking shit back, but I respect my law enforcement when I didn't do it. But anyway, made me think about how stupid of a rule that is. The whole jaywalking thing. So I actually just decided I would chat GPT. What are some of the crazy Florida laws that one of the those laws that they exist but you don't
Why?
really, but why?
And they probably were made 100 years ago, and they just never got them off the books.
Exactly. Yeah. So I wanted to read some of them to you and see what you think. Get your feedback on some of these.
And
strange
ChatGPT,
Florida
you
laws.
just take for granted, that is your god.
Yeah. ChatGPT knows everything.
Okay.
So here's some bizarre Florida laws that again people don't even know they're breaking them when they do. For example, it's illegal to skateboard without a license. So you're supposed to have a license to skateboard, but most people that skateboard are under 16. You know what I mean?
Right.
A good majority of them. So that seems odd. Also, it's men can't. You'll like this one.
Why?
Men can't wear strapless dresses. We've heard. Okay. And then
That's a law.
That's a law. That's a law. And
But it's never enforced.
yeah, it's never. I guess not. And you can't sing when you're wearing a swimsuit. Singing while wearing a swimsuit is also against the law.
Really?
Yes. Unmarried couples living together is also against the law. No singing in a swimsuit. I said that. You cannot intimidate or wait, cannot. Oh, you cannot imitate an animal. That is also against the law.
Or commonplace in some public schools.
and then no showering naked. How is that possibly a law? So you're supposed to shower with clothes on?
No,
like,
I don't think you
who made
are.
these laws at some point? Like, how did that ever come into play?
Well, let's say this. Let's just say there was no such thing as individual showers. Like AC didn't exist here, and it's probably why it didn't get developed the way it did for a long time until air conditioning comes in, because who the heck would want to live in Florida without air conditioning?
Yeah.
So maybe with showers, there were, back in the, 1890s, maybe there was only open air showers. And you couldn't just have people running around naked exposing themselves.
Okay, well, that's a theory. Yep. How about this one? This one's fun. No farting in a public place after 6 p.m. Okay. So if you fart in public, you'd be in jail.
I really, do I fart a lot?
Yeah, you do. Yeah, I don't know. You smell.
Thank you.
Is that what is it you're doing without deodorant? You're not wearing deodorant anymore?
Yeah, isn't that good?
It's so gross.
No, it's good, man. It's good. And I don't smell you. You're just making that up because I told you that.
No.
I think which is awesome.
No kissing your wife's breasts.
No kissing your wife's breasts. But you do realize that there was reasons for these things.
What? What is that? No farting in a public place after 6 p.m. What was the reason for that law? What happened that law came into play?
Well, back in the day, I'm guessing even in a Wild Wild West scenario where there's saloon doors, okay? And, after a certain time, maybe it's 5 o'clock, people are, a majority of the population are going to bars and getting hammered. So maybe that's something that would trigger a reaction that was unfavorable. So they said, we need to stop this or it's going to be chaos every single night.
Okay. No throwing dwarfs.
I mean, you think it shouldn't be like you should be able to throw dwarfs?
Yeah, why not? I mean, come on, they enjoy it. Have
you ever thrown a dwarf?
I've never thrown one personally, no. But there's also that micro wrestling that goes on once a month. Yeah.
Actually, that's huge. Now, you were a wrestler. We all know that. And when you were working back then too, did you see that as almost like stand-up comedians see like a prop comic? Where it's like kind of shunned. Like, do you see these micro wrestlers like they don't do what I do? They're just doing it for the gag. People want to go watch and laugh.
Well,
or do you see it as skill?
I think it's a skill for sure. And they're dwarfs. So, but whatever, they want to. They have a passion
can do cool
for
moves
doing
you
it.
can't do.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but I've asked people to go with me before, and I've had their response like, no, that's like insulting. It's like a freak show, like circus. Like,
that's why people go.
I think it's just would be fun to watch. I don't think it's insulting. I don't think they're insulted that you want to go watch.
Well, that's just the age-old story too. Is like if they were insulted, but they take the money.
Yeah.
Like it's just like with women. They say like, oh, stripper. You don't want to go to a strip club. Probably you're not a strip club guy, really. But it's like, right. Like, oh, is that bad? Because it's like a freak show in there, and there's these strippers that are just going to do like. But isn't that their decision? So no matter what people thought of it, don't they have the freedom to make the decision to do whatever they want, and it doesn't matter how it looks?
What's your favorite Tampa strip club?
I haven't been to a strip club in a long time.
I don't know.
How about you?
Probably the Penthouse.
No. So obviously you've been there recently.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
As nice. A novelty, because you were married for a long time, so you didn't go for a long time to strip clubs.
Yeah. No.
And now is this a place you frequent monthly?
Maybe once a month.
And you're not going at like 3 a.m. where it gets weird and crazy stuff happens. You're talking about just like 6 p.m. You drink after work.
A little after 6 p.m. But I mean, yeah. But I mean,
it's never getting weird and wild. Like nothing. You go with the girlfriend, but like nothing weird and wild happens. It's just there's topless dancers.
Yeah, it's just a strip club.
Yeah, nothing weird. What else are these laws?
You know something? All right. Here's the last one. We'll end the show on this one. No elephants tied to parking meters. And again, how did that happen? We know why. Well, when were elephants and parking meters ever a sense of travel?
But wouldn't you say that's sensible?
Yeah, sure. But I mean, when did you ever pull up an elephant to a parking meter? I mean, when did how did that become a law?
Well, how about this? If it wasn't a law, what if people started doing it? And they bred these elephants down to be smaller, and now we have mini elephants all over the place.
Wow, that's a great thought. Yeah, I guess I never thought of it like that.
You can find me on vintage_gimmick on Instagram. You can find my man at Tampa is Life.
Yeah.
And where do we find the show?
At the What's Good Tampa show on
Guys,
Instagram.
Thank you so much. Episode 1 now out on our thing for live from the Gimmick. It's open mic night, guys. Thank you so much for being with us. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Thanks for listening to the What's Good Tampa Show. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at What's Good Tampa Show, or visit what'sgoodtampa.com to get involved with the show. See you next time.